currently? What is your purpose for doing what you are doing currently? Are you just there to pamper minds? Are you just there to pamper, massage egos, or trying to tick some boxes? Or is there something more that you are trying to achieve? You have to be intentional about it, and you have to let people know. How further is it to get to that goal? So that thing you are doing, you have a goal, you have a passion, you have a drive, you have set objectives. How far is it? And how ready are you to go far to getting that goal? And then what's holding you back from trending? What's that thing that is holding you back from projecting yourself, from trending? Who says you can't trend like Beyonce? Who says you can't trend like Oprah Winfrey? Who says you can't trend like everybody else? So it all depends on you. Don't mind me, I'm going a bit faster because we actually gone far. So your personal objectives for being known, right? The introduction is simply you are trying to customize yourself. You know, when they customize brands, they say this is custom made, meaning it is specific to that thing. So when you're trying to build a brand, you have to make it customized. So when people mention Esther Elueme, wow, the first thing that comes to their mind, wow, she speaks about interviewing, positioning yourself for getting interview invites, walking into the interview session, and coming out with a letter in your hand. When people hear Esther Elueme, they say, wow, let's go to our CV, right? And of course, people have been coming to me. I've not been charging, but I tell you, my DM is buzzing and buzzing. And then they say, please, how much will you collect? How much will you do this? Somebody came to me just yesterday and was saying, oh, okay, on Thursday, and said, oh, please, we want you to come and talk to our new interns, our cohorts. They want to talk to them about, you know, interviewing, standing out, this and that, and that, and that, and that. Please, do you have the time? And people are coming. So let people know you. Customize yourself. I tell you one thing, when you talk about performance management system, I am not thinking about one big guy, okay, outside in the US and UK. I'm thinking about DAMILARE-VICTOR. I'm not joking, though. I'm not trying to massage his ego. I'm not massaging your ego. I'm not joking, okay? When you talk about performance management system, the first person that comes to my head is SDV. And I'm not joking about it. No big name like one big guy from US or blah, blah, blah. I don't know about that, okay? So that is what it is. And personal branding starts with your locality. The people around you, your vicinity, the people that you relate with more often, what are they saying and saying about it? Do you know that will even help spread your fame? Okay, so personal brand is almost and everything about your identity. It is your social capital and affiliations, your online presence, your career visibility and growth. Just because everyone else is doing it does not mean you are right. Do your own and stand out. Successful personal branding can never be achieved without proper goals. The feedback must be there. You must analyze, evaluate, and assess what you are doing. Right. So, what is personal branding? It is who you are, like I've said. What makes you unique and your mission. And so you see people, organizations, people just saying our mission statement, our vision statement, and then they have their quality policies, they have their goals, their values, their objectives, their policies, their culture. They are trying to tell you that these things make us stand out. When you hear of, what's it called, Apple, you are thinking of iPhone, right? So that is it. There's this uniqueness about it. It is creating a name and reputation for yourself in both the personal and professional spheres. What are you doing that people can relate with? Are you intentional about it, or you're just floating like every other person? Let me just join them. Yes, everybody's on air, everybody's on social media. Let me just join them. Is that what you're doing? It shouldn't be that. It involves your goals, your accomplishments, your career growth, your current projects, success stories. Anything that will contribute to your future objectives is your personal branding plan. It is the dedication, the grit, the time, the consistency you put into controlling your narrative. So people want to talk about you. They know where to start. I belong to so many groups where we have to, plan events for the year. And then we are thinking, okay, so for this particular topic, who is good in this niche? That is personal branding. So we identify the person and say, no, this person is good there. Let's take this person. Do you see how it works? But if nobody knows you for anything, then there's a problem. There's a problem. If no one knows you, can identify with you, then you have a problem. Finally, and in summary, it is who you are, what you stand for, the values you embrace, and the way in which you express those values. Now, here's the deal. Of everything I've been talking about personal branding, here is the deal. You have to become the benchmark. You have to become the benchmark. Let people use you, your standard, to benchmark other people. That's what it is. So you want to challenge Microsoft, you want to challenge Apple, you want to challenge Twitter, you want to challenge. So what are you challenging them with? They've already set their standards. So if you want to beat that standard or meet, you have to come a notch higher. So becoming the benchmark means you should not only strive to be the best you can be in your chosen line of work, but you have to strive to set a standard in it. Excellence is the watchword. Excellence. And so you say, who is good in this topic? SDB is excellent. He can talk about performance management system, even sleeping. He's excellent in it. Who can talk about when it comes to workplace culture, talk about what's it called, workplace culture. Yeah, you talk about thought leadership in workplace culture. You can talk about Yemi Fashion. Well, you even put his name on Google. He's a big boy. So let people associate you with excellence in whatever you find yourself. It is making sure you own your craft. Yeah, there are so many people doing it, makes it unique to you. There's something about you that makes that. Yeah, it's everywhere. Everybody is doing it, but that makes it your craft, a personal brand. Okay, personalize it, own it. Make it unique. Let it stand out. It means that you are that line of work or business. You are very good, and people, once they talk about a certain niche or a certain business, a certain contract or project, they are linking you to it. That's excellence. When your customers think about the need, the first person that comes to them, because they know you deliver excellence. It's about it. Not just that you're giving value, but you're passionate and doing what you're doing with every bit of excellence. You should be the standard by which others are measured. I'm telling you the truth. If you're going to build a personal brand sustainably, be a standard by which others are measured, right? That's just it. So everything, just mark this, everything I'm going to be talking about on personal branding all boils down to benchmarking. Have you set a standard? When they talk about certain things, will your name even come up at all? Will people even mention your name at all? Let it not be okay. Yes. You are not chosen, but they mentioned your name. That is what we are talking about. Okay. Now, how do you use your personal branding for your career advancement? Creating a personal brand is still one of the most effective ways. I cannot tell you how much of a thing I've gained from LinkedIn. And so when one of the posts I shared on LinkedIn last week just somehow went viral, and one of the CEOs, MD of one of the big financial institutions, it was Mama TDA, yeah. She told me, Taiwo Diabaton, yes. Sorry, I have to mention her name. She had congratulated me, and then this big woman just congratulated and said, yeah, you deserve it. Please reach out to me on the inbox me ASAP. It's a story for another day, okay? Right? It's a story for another day. So that is what personal branding can do. It looks, at first when you start out, it looks like, what am I even doing? Is anybody seeing me? Am I sure I'm doing the right thing? You cannot know if you're doing the right thing if you're not even doing it. You won't even know. So if you're not doing it, how will you know you're not doing the right thing? So start out. Figure out who you are and what you want to be known for. Be introspective. Try to search yourself, search your heart. What is in this for me, right? What am I looking out for? And create a list of your personal strengths and weaknesses. This is your starting point. Ask yourself, in which areas of work do I excel? What motivates me? What actually stirs me up? What do I see or read or hear that stirs up something in me? What is not these things? Very important, because these things will give you an edge. You start working, you start looking, you start introspecting and putting these things down. As you're answering this question, as you're asking yourself these questions and answering them, please note them down. What characteristics have others complimented me on? You are good. Wow, you are very good at this. Wow, that thing you did the other day. Wow, that's good. I can see you are doing this. You're doing it well. Please note it. Which projects have others had to help me with repeatedly? So people are willing to come out to help you do something. Once they hear about it, they jump at it. Please look at that thing closely. Which roles seem to drain my energy? Now, when you identify these things, you now see this, the downside that is not profitable, that is not adding up. It's okay, you put it aside. Which project can I spend hours on without feeling overwhelmed or tired? That is your niche. That is your drive. That is where you should build your PV around, your personal branding around. What project? Things you can do effortlessly without being pushed, without being coerced, but you do them effortlessly, passionately. You are not tired. Anytime you hear it, your ear tingles, your eyes are wide open, you are filled with joy. Everybody can see the happiness all over you. That is your niche. Be the personal branding around that. You have to be clear and consistent and constant. Let people know you for who you are. And please, this next one, the third one, stop the invisibility. Do not be doing things in isolation. I don't want people to say, Esther did this, so I'm too showing myself. Please show yourself. Start showing yourself. People can go and hit their head on the wall, but please show yourself. I can tell you that whatever I am today is because I'm not hiding my contributions. And I'm not trying to show up. I'm not being rude, but I'm always assertive. When I want a thing, when I want to do a thing, I go for it. And I bet you I get results. I get results. Let people know how you contribute to projects. Do not hide. Image building and teamwork is, these things are the things that when people, your name pops up somewhere or people are talking about you, they will, no, when you talk about Esther, no, she's very good, no, let's give it to her. Don't hide your contributions, I beg you, please, do not. If you have been doing that, please remove the veil. Come out boldly. Let people see it. You are not trying to brag. You are not trying to show off. You are trying to show value. Embrace networking and don't bootlick. I hope somebody is getting that. Network, do not bootlick. Your work can speak, but people speak more, right? So when you network with people, they know you. They see what you're doing. They see your contributions. You won't be everywhere. You are not, what's it called, ubiquitous. Everywhere at a time. You are just in one place per time. But there are people who know you that will be somewhere there, here, there, and there. And when your name comes up for something good, they speak for you. Be vulnerable and watch it. Do not say, no, I interviewed, we had an interview not too long ago, and so we had candidates and everything. And so we asked a very pertinent question, which was very key to that role. I said, have you ever made any mistakes in such projects before? Was there a time you made a mistake and then you were cautioned? How did you react? Oh, you won't believe it. This person said she has never made a mistake and she's worked for 11 years. That was a no-no for me. I don't know about you, but you couldn't have worked for 11 years and you've never made any mistake. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Even if there are, it could just be maybe 2 out of 10 persons that are superheroes and saints, right? I am no saint. I'm very vulnerable, right? But at the same time, I'm watching it. I can't keep doing the same mistake over and over and over. It is not good. Yes, be vulnerable, but watch it. Don't let people identify you for always making mistakes. It's a bad side. It will not brand you well, okay? Then ask for feedback and recommendations. At certain times, I was bold. Yeah, I was bold. I sent an email to my CEO and one of the board of directors and said, please, I need feedback. What do you think about me, my work? I'm not joking, I did it. And they were stunned. Nobody had ever done that before. And they called me up and were like, what is this all about? And I told them, I need to know if I'm contributing value to the company. You won't believe it. The kinds of things they said, I was motivated the more. There was a morale boost. I did it. So ask for feedback. Don't be shy to ask for feedback. Even the junior staff, I call them once in a while. And I said, what do you think about my work? My relationship with people, how the office is functioning is okay, since I'm the head of admin, well, before the head of HR admin and all. Is everything okay? Do you like the ambience? Do you like the mood of the company and all that? I do it a lot. It will help you to benchmark. It will help you to know where you're getting it right and where you're getting it wrong. It also helps you to build your brand. You now know, okay, these things I have to do away with them or improve on them. Build online presence. This is where we are now. This is, you can't be here at this century and then you don't have any online presence. And or maybe you have, but it's just fallow. Don't let your online presence be fallow, people. It is what it is now. I was featured in a Canadian magazine because of LinkedIn. I've had people call me to come and talk Action 8 Canada. They had something with some from Ebony State. Yes, they had to do some things with their women, you know, the Lagos chapter. And yes, Action 8 Canada. They invited me to come and speak. Why? Online presence. So I don't know what you're doing about yourself, but I tell you, it works. You have to be intentional about it. Talk about yourself. You should be able to talk about yourself at least 30 to 40 seconds. It's called the elevator pitch. What are you all about? You should be able, if you have not crafted your elevator pitch, please, after this time, go and put something down, time yourself, at least 30 to 40 seconds. Say something about yourself. So when you go for events, meet and greet, parties, whatever it is, just for 30 to 40 seconds, as you're greeting people, hi, my name is Esther, Elueme, blah, 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 blah. Say it. Realize that your personal brand, like many corporate brands, will change. as your career grows. So it is like monitoring yourself, improving on yourself. Maybe in the next 1 or 2 days, some other things are up. Like I just learned about Power BI. They change features, they add features every month. So the Power BI features you have for May, in June, it will change. It's a must. Go and check it if you are using Power BI. Check what you used last month and check it in May now. It has changed. They've added a feature or they've tweaked something. It is never the same. The same thing goes for your career. You can't be static and be monotonous in whatever you're doing. You need to grow, right? Is anybody getting me? Hope I'm not talking to myself. Just going like that, like that. Are we here?
Hi, Esther, we can hear you.
We're together.
We can hear you.
Oh,
Loud and clear.
All right. So am I making sense? Let's talk because I'm look at me now. I'm here. Am I making any sense?
Too much sense, Esther.
Of course, you're making a lot of sense.
Too much sense, promise. What too much sense have you gained, though? Who said that? I'm not quite seeing people who are talking now.
No, that's Idris. That's Idris.
Idris.
I think, yeah,
Okay.
that's Idris. So, and if I'm to pick out some of the key points that resonated with me, for me, I think one thing is consistency. Yeah, do the right thing. You know, be known for something, and be consistent with it. You know, if there's an area that is your area of strategic competitive advantage, you know, there's an area of strength. Just keep owning it and keep keep putting it out there. Let people know you for it and be consistent with it. You know, so it helps to also shape your brand. I think that's resonated with me.
It helps a lot. It does. And just showing up on LinkedIn. It's not as if I go there every day or post every day, but because I'm consistent about some things, I say them the way they are. I'm punchy and creative about what I say, the way I say them. People are reaching out. You don't want to know the caliber of people who are reaching out. So I want to crave your indulgence. I want to beg you to oblige this world. Step out. Step out. Use your personal brand to guide your decisions. Because every interaction builds towards creating your brand. It makes your relationship and activity count and work. Create your own brand story. Start doing that. If you are not intentional, like I said, those questions, those searching questions, ask yourself those questions. Who are you? What you're doing right now, is it what you want to do? Is it tilted towards the future? In what areas do you excel, right? What are people complimenting you on? I tell you, with hard work and dedication, you can create an impressive personal brand that will help catapult your career, open doors of opportunity. It has done for me, and set you apart from the competition. When you set the standard for good work in your industry, you will become a benchmark personal brand. People will measure others based on your standards. As you're up to that standard, they've already set a standard because of you. And so whoever is going to come and say something or do something must match that standard or beat it. So it is very, very important that you do that. So like I love this word business quote, right? The way to get started is just quit talking. I've just been talking for the last how many minutes? You have to start doing it. I've not even gotten to where I want. I've not even done anything. It's just like a drop in a cup, what I want to achieve with personal branding. Okay, so I plead with you, let's start doing something. Let's start doing something about everything that we have heard. Personal branding is not new. This is just my own little way of contributing to the topic. I know you've heard so much, you've seen so many things about personal branding. You're just like redrumming it, okay, into our ears. That is very, very key. It's very, very important. Right. So thank you. I think I'm done. Balash,
Wow. Professor Esther, Thank you for this wonderful presentation. This is quite insightful, quite revealing. You brought a lot of things back to our memory. I want to say thank you so much for your time, Esther, for your presentation. Of course, a lot of things resonate with me, like Idris said, and Idris has captured some of the things that resonated with me. So quickly, this is the time for interaction, questions and answers. And it seems Sarah was peeping into my mind. She already has a question that I would love to also ask. So Esther, quickly, let's dive into this interaction now. This is where I want us to interact and iron out some of these things. I know there could be some misconceptions around personal branding and all of that. So Sarah says, can you have a strong or successful personal brand without online presence? Now, I'm gonna dive into this question using another perspective. I see a lot of people who make noise. And what I mean by noise is they are forcing themselves to be popular. But when you check the things they say, the things they post, there is no substance. They are not deep. I mean, they have not learned. They have not, learned quietly. Like why if we say learn in the quiet place, competence is very key. Competence is a differentiator. Before you even start making noise, either on social media, LinkedIn, anywhere, you need to even have learned. So I want you to speak to competence. How does competence give you a good personal brand? Then you also let us know, can you have a strong personal brand, right? Offline. Can you have it without even being on LinkedIn? Is it possible? So speak to that and also link it with competence, learning before you even start making noise. Thank you. That's the first question.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for those questions. Okay, so let's tackle the one that Sarah asked about having a strong presence offline. Well, 1830, yeah, some years back, that would have been very, very okay, right? While we're still doing manual, everything was just manual. Now, but I tell you something, having a strong personal branding offline can just be like giving you, you could be targeting 100%, okay, of results, whatever you're doing. But if you don't have any personal presence online, I'm sorry, you may be just getting like 30 or 40% if you're able to even get up to that. Because most people are going online, most businesses are going on, and most people are on their phones. Most people are online. So it's just like somebody who is, let's say a consulting firm. I'll use that as an example. A consulting firm. You consult for HR matters, you consult for tax matters, you consult for whatever matters. And you are not online. You're not projecting yourself online. You just put one poster like that on your gate. And you think people will just see the poster or the billboard or something just by the gates of your office or something, and then they just come. No, I don't know how many people will do that. But being online gives you that edge, because billions of people, like I found out that like LinkedIn now, you have like 800 million people subscribed to that network. That's massive. Imagine, just think about it. And so you have people who are making shoes, footwears. People who are even selling other things. They are coming on LinkedIn. Why do you think they are doing that? People making food shoes, just go to the shop and display your things. Why are you coming online? So having a strong online presence will help build your brand massively. If you just want to go solo and you're just doing your offline thing, I'm sorry, not in this age. It maybe would have worked like some 10 years ago, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, but not now. Especially now that AI is taking over businesses. You see banks now, they are using AI and all that, this one, attending to people. How do you survive in such a world if you are not online? Nobody will know you. And then talking about competence, right? People only identify with competence. People go after value. And like Shion had said, there are so many people making noise on social media. Their noise, their content, they lack value. Content that lack content. I don't know if you have heard such a thing before. It's a content, but it's lacking content. There is nothing, but at times I just read some things and I've read the first paragraph, second paragraph, and I'm still trying to get what they're trying to say. I'm not seeing anything. So competence will always drive value. So when you're putting out anything there, when you're trying to dish out anything, you're trying to let people know you for your competence. This person is good with this, right? There is value. Why do you think people always say, bring value to the table, bring value to the table? Is it bringing, which value are you bringing to the table? What table are we talking about? We are talking about table of people, kings and queens, people, business moguls and all that, people that when they speak, society quakes and shakes. So when you meet such people, you need to bring value to them. Your competence must speak. So building a personal brand goes hand in hand with competence. If you are not competent and you're not showing competence, I'm sorry, you're not bringing any value. Nobody will even invite you to the table. I don't know if this has answered the questions.
Yes, thank you so much, Esther, for that response. Of course, you have attempted to answer the question, and that's very good. All right, so can I paint a scenario just to add to what you've said, and also to try and buttress that point? My point is, we all know Unilever, we know PZ Cousins, we know GT Bank, we know there are a lot of brands I can call, Apple, like you mentioned earlier on, Esther. Now, the reason why people associate with those brands, or the reason why people trust them, is because over the time, the brand promise, which is quality products, you know what I mean? The promise of those organizations, they have kept to their promise in terms of delivering products that have value, products that improve lives, and all of that. So the only time you see companies probably marketing their brand, maybe they are churning out new MPDs, you know what I mean, new products, new SKUs and all of that. But whether they are online or not, people still trust them. For instance, anywhere you mention some banks in Nigeria, who will say they will give a thumbs up. But if you mention some bank, they will say, I beg, no, can I go sit down? You know what I mean? So what am I trying to say? There is a place of offline building. And what do I mean? I'm talking about competence. You first need to ensure that you are competent, you have that content. And that's why most people make mistakes. You want to be popular. There's a difference between seeking popularity and building a personal brand. For those people, they are marketing, they want to market themselves. But what will attract you or endear people to you or you to people is the value, the substance, like you mentioned. So there is a place of offline building. There's a place of learning. There's a process to follow. To be a subject matter expert, before you even say you want to go and market anything, I say LinkedIn is just a platform. And I'm going to use myself as an example. Many people don't know. I can't count how many people reach out to me too, like you said. They want me to come and speak somewhere. They want me to go and mentor people. I don't have the time because my 9 to 5 is very engaging. My weekends are sold out already for church or for family and all of that. So I have turned down so many speaking engagements. Right, what am I trying to say? DAMILARE-VICTOR, I'm talking about myself. I only started posting on LinkedIn, as in I started engaging on LinkedIn less than 2 years ago. Go and check. Go and read my posts. It's just everything started less than 2 years ago. And that's because now I know that I'm a subject matter, like you mentioned, of performance management, talent management, anything HR. But some people have been posting, I'm sorry, they've been posting rubbish I'm sorry to use that. They've been posting rubbish for 5, 6, 10 years. And when people try to engage with your rubbish, they know that this person is not deep, this person lacks content. and they dissociate. You may not know, but you are there still. They call it empty barrels making the loudest noise. So I only came out 2 years ago, and I also want to talk about YF. YF, with his over 30 years, for those who don't know him, with his over 30 years of experience, he only became visible, only started speaking publicly less than 5-6 years ago. You can imagine. He was quietly learning, becoming a subject matter expert, becoming a thought leader in one corner. What am I trying to say? Competence differentiates you. Have that content, have the substance, be a subject matter expert before you come out to seek popularity. Because LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they are just a platform. They will not give you content. You must have that content before you now use those platforms to what? To project that brand, that solid brand. All right. Don't let me belabor that. Let's go to the next question. But before I go, Idris posted something. He says, there is a saying that if you have no substance, that is capacity and capabilities to stand on, don't embrace the spotlight. Wow, that's leveraging yourself. Safe to say, build competence, then put yourself out there. So my question is, since we are all on the learning journey, as young professionals, at what point do you begin to project your brand? Wow. I don't want to say I've answered this question, but I'm going to throw it back to Esther. Idris is asking us, at what point do you begin to project your brand? I'm sure you can see his comments on the chat box.
Yes, I am seeing it.
Over to you, Esther.
Okay, thank you, Shewa and Idris. Great touch right there. So Shewa has actually mentioned it, right? When he was talking about competence. You have to have something first. Don't just say, because Esther and Shewa, they've said we have to project ourselves, then you just you just start going on like that, and you're just dishing out things, content that lack content. Don't go and do that. You have to have something. First, Shewa will share this slide. So those questions I posed there, they are very valid, right? You don't want to take them for granted. That is a starting point. Go and look at those questions, and this is the time to go practical. This is the time to have your pen and paper in hand. Right as you're asking those questions, write the questions down, and then another line for the answers. I'm telling you, introspect. Ask yourself these questions and put them down. When you are able to identify your niche area, the areas people compliment you the most, the things you do and you excel, and people like, wow. And then the next time such matters or such things come up, they say, who can do this? They just call your name. Esther can do this. Please note that thing. That is your brand. Go and build, search, build, improve on it. So before you come out as a young professional, you must have something you want to project, right? People don't just come out because they want to come out. You must have something you want to project. If you don't want to project yourself yet, but you're still trying to learn and still trying to identify, but you still want people to know you, I will advise you to just add valuable engagements on people's posts in a group where you belong, whether WhatsApp group, Telegram, whatever group you belong, right? Just engage on people's posts and add meaningfully. You are also trying to create awareness. This kind of person, Esther, is there, or she's somewhere there, and anytime she adds value, something comes out of it. There's this platform I like engaging with on LinkedIn, the Leadership First. So I noticed that whenever I engage on their posts, big shots, the Leadership First, big shots reach out, they connect. If I mention one person here, I went to my husband and said, can you see this thing? If I mention that name, the person, you will not believe it because of the kind of engagement I put on that platform. If I mention is a prince, one of the biggest countries you can think of in the world, if he's always engaging on my post on that Leadership First, right? Because before I engage there, I look at what they have said and then think about it and then come up with something that is relative to what I am experiencing here, what I know, not trying to paint to suit their own, kind of thing. No. So if you're trying to project yourself, you have to start with little drops here and there, little drops from the groups you belong, from maybe your arm in the wherever fellowship, wherever group you belong, where professionals gather. Try to start bringing out yourself, engage on people's posts, whether on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on Twitter. I don't know where you belong, but start projecting yourself like that. When you are now certain, I tell you, you will know, because there will be that hunger in you that this is the time to come out. Like Shion said, I didn't come out until late 2021. I didn't come out. Go and check. Go and check my first post. I think it was July 2021 or thereabout that I started coming out on LinkedIn fully. Even though I had registered like, God knows, 2012 or something, or 13, I'm telling you. But I didn't do nothing until late 2021. I became intentional. I said, no, I have to come out. Okay? So you will have that hunger, and there's this craving, when you crave for a hot cup of chocolate, you want to get it. You will know. So I don't know if that has answered the question, Idris. Shall if you want to speak more to it.
Yes, I think it has. Idris, I guess he has some network. Okay, he's back. All right, so let's move on. I have another question. Now we need to speak to our topic for today, which says personal branding strategies for career advancement, right? So now let's talk about career advancement. What is career advancement? Basically, it's about you climbing the career ladder, right? As you go along in your career. You know what I mean? You started as accounts officer, right? And you're learning, and you're getting a promotion, you are getting higher responsibilities, you are gathering experience, gathering knowledge about how to, become the best or get to the top of your career. Now, what's the question? Now, the question is, let's talk about your personal brand in your place of work, or in our place of work. Now, what should you be intentional about to advance your career in that organization that you are working? So Esther, I want you to speak to what should career professionals do to ensure that in that organization, they stand out from the crowd, right? They create a lasting good impression with every interaction that they have with their colleagues, with their line manager, even with their line manager's line manager. For instance, I have worked in organizations where before I joined, okay, let me say my predecessor, right? I don't want to mention the name of the organization. There are a lot of expatriates in the organization. And my predecessor as HR business partner was somebody who could not face expatriates to tell them things when they are wrong. So when an expatriate does something wrong, they don't have that courage to say, oh, Mr. So what you did is wrong. But when a local does same thing, they can give query, they can terminate. But when I joined, the narrative changed, because for me, before I joined them, I've worked with several expatriates. So it's not something I'm just doing. And I know that when in the place of work, equity and fairness is one way of what? Ensuring inclusiveness, right? So if an expatriate does something, the same way I'm going to treat it is the same way I'm going to treat it if a local does it. What am I saying? Self-confidence, sometimes your communication, all of this, right? Your work ethics, right? All of this also is part of the personal brand. Now, my boss, my line manager, saw that the narrative in the way we do employee relations has changed. Before I joined, employees would be complaining that the HR person is not fair. When an expatriate does things that are wrong, this is how they handle it. And the expatriates became kings right? So what am I trying to say? What should we as professionals be intentional about? What are those qualities, right, that we should have? What are those skills that we should have that can help build our personal brand and help us advance our career in that place we are working? So personal brand in the organization we are working. Let's forget LinkedIn for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. Very pertinent. Okay, so I know I've said a lot of things about that. Okay, I will use myself as an example. Okay, so most times in the organization, when I try to resolve conflicts between a manager and his or direct report, the first thing I tell them is, why are we all here? I ask that question. It's because you have to set the ball rolling. You have to put things in the right perspective. I asked two of them, why are we all here in the first place? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why am I here? And they say, yeah, we're employed. I say, yeah, we're here to work. We're here to work, please. That's the first thing first. Once you understand that why you are in that organization with others is to give value and be paid, then you start following it that way. So the first thing for using personal branding for career advancement is understand why you were employed. Why were you employed? Because if you don't understand that, I'm sorry, you'll just be doing popcorn in the organization. You're just like a popcorn, popping and scattering everywhere. If you don't cage a popcorn, that's why you see when they're doing a popcorn, there's a cover and all that. If not, the popcorn will fly here, and becomes messy. So if you don't even know why you were employed, you're just like a popcorn, just popping and popping everywhere, right? So if you want to grow in an organization and advance, understand why you were employed and try to do your work excellently. I come back to the word excellence. Let people know that you are excellent at what you're doing. Once that is clarified, then you move. She's doing her job. Then, how do you communicate? Some people will come and complain this, and I'll ask the question, how did you tell this person this thing? Just tell me what you said. And they will say it. I say, next time, can you try saying it this way? Effective communication. When you're trying to communicate something to people or with people about a thing, your approach, your body language, your body language speaks a whole lot, right? Than what you are using. Because you can be saying something and your body is actually acting the other way around. So when you're communicating with people, please watch your tone, the tone of your voice, the expression on your face, because your words can be saying something and the expression is saying another thing. Your body language is saying something else. The way you even do your face at times, like maybe somebody is trying to correct you and say something, and you're like, are you seeing my face? And you're going this way. Whatever you're saying again, I'm sorry. It is not, all I know is that you are not even ready to listen. Be assertive, pass the message, but please never be rude. Stand your ground on what is to be, but don't go about it rudely, right? So if you're building your career, like I said again, I remember saying it, I said, don't hide, be visible. Don't be invisible, don't be an invisible contributor. Let people know and see what you are doing. I'm telling you, it's very important. I'm giving you some of the keys that have helped me. Yes, I'm not where I am supposed to be, but I'm climbing, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful to God for that. Let people see that you are contributing value. Don't be the type that is always giving excuses. Like an HR, I'm watching. Do you understand? I know those people that are always giving excuses, that are always lazy to do things. Don't be lazy and always giving excuses, too busy, feigning, ignorance of things. Eyes are watching, ears are tingling, people are looking. And then maybe your line manager or the CEO just comes, Esther, please, can you quickly do this for me? And then you go, well, please, my table in my plate is already full, this and that. Can you just be mine? Can you calm down a little and prioritize that thing that it is the CEO we're talking about, that thing that he has given you to do and what you are currently doing, which takes priority, which can wait and which cannot wait. If the CEO's own cannot wait, and this one you're doing is uppermost, convey to him, say, please, sir, look at what I'm currently doing, and this is why, this is it, I have to do it, blah, blah, blah. Can you just give me some, I should be done with it and attend to this and so, try to explain it. Don't just keep quiet and say, no, I beg, make this one wait, and then you continue what you're doing. And then the person is waiting for you. But if the CEO's own takes uppermost hand, and this one can wait, you can call whoever sent you to do that thing, whoever is asking for that report that you're doing before the CEO brought his own, you can go to that person and say, please, I've actually started this thing, but please give me some time to finish. I will work on it. It's the CEO wants such reports, and I have to give it to him. These are things, communication, effective communication, not just communication. Effective communication is very key when you're relating with people and you're trying to grow in the workplace. Communicate with people. Don't always be the odd one out. Whenever they are doing things, you're always drawing back. You're always giving excuses. You're lazy to do things. You see things that are to be done. You just, it's not my business. No, people are watching. You don't know. You never know. People are watching. And then when they are doing trainings and all that, I called one of the office assistants the other time. We were doing a training, right? And it was for everybody, actually. Yeah, it's a company that comes to clean and all that. And I called, I said, come, why are you not I called one of them, why are you not in that training? He said, I said, my friend, and she's actually in her second year in National University. I encouraged her to. And luckily, she actually listened to me. She's in university, a cleaner. I said, why are you not in that training? He said, I don't know. I said, my friend, will you get into that place? Are you're in the university, so you don't want to learn how corporate world is, how things are done in the office. You don't want to work in the office. She said, I want to. I said, enter that room, my friend. So these are little things that we take for granted, but they matter a lot. They matter a lot. When you see things are not going well, at times, even with your line manager, when you see that the person, all of a sudden, there's a mood swing, watch the kinds of things you take to that person. Mind how you relate with that person at that time. For instance, I know when to approach my CEO because I work directly with him. There are things people, you see the other heads of the family will come, Esther, talk to, do this. I say, please, not now. I will talk to him later because I'm seeing things and I actually have understudied him. I know him well. I know when to present matters and he will listen and do those things. So it's not about just being at work. Yes, we all like to work, but do your work excellently. Don't just be comfortable collecting money every month and salary hits your alert, blah, blah, and you're happy without giving attendant quality and value to the work. My conscience will not allow me. I don't know if yours will. So please, these are little things, how you brand yourself when things are being done, when you see things that are on a higher scale coming up and they say, who do you think can drive this? Okay, no, give her. She's always there. She's always ready to do things and give results. She will deliver. Can people talk about you that way? When higher level things come up and they're looking for people that will handle these things, will your name be mentioned? Be asking yourself these questions. Sheon, over to you.
Thank you so much. Interesting comment from you, interesting responses. At least you have shed light on how to advance our career in our current employment using personal branding strategies. Thank you so much, Esther. So before we close, we have senior professionals in the house. We have Sarah, we have Promise, we have Idris. Can you please, any of you want to share something, want to contribute before we close, so that at least those who listen to the recording can get value from this meeting? Esther has said a lot, so please, we have you, Sarah. Can you please say one or two things as contributions to this subject matter? Personal branding strategies for career advancement. Sarah, are you there? Okay. Promise, Idris, any one of you want to make contributions to the topic before we close? Or do we have any questions on our mind?
I'm here. Please pardon me, but I'm driving.
Oh, you're driving.
Yes, please.
Can you talk?
Okay, let me just quickly chip in something. Well done, Esther.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome session. That was very direct and really clear. Thanks for sharing insights into the topic. Well, like Esther said, your personal brand is the totality of you. Everything about you. Just know that whatever you do, either you do it right or do it wrong, you have a name to yourself. You have a name, you have a face, you have a brand. Whatever you do communicates everything about you to the world. So it depends on how you want to be perceived out there. So if you want to be perceived as a professional, you do professional things. If you want to be seen as mediocre, then obviously whatever you do, your impact, your just like they say, as you post now, so you go show. That's just what personal branding is about. If you push yourself out there as a non-entity, or sorry for the language, but that's how people would see you. But if you come out like, okay, I have value, you don't have to be on platforms where there are thousands or millions of people before you actually share or show value. It could be within your immediate environment, anywhere you are, just be you and ensure that whatever you are, whatever you do at any point in time just speaks for who you really want people to, how you really want people to perceive you. I hope I've been able to add one or two to that, please.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much, Sarah, for that interesting conversation. What I pick from this is your personal brand is the totality of you. You said exactly. If you want to be seen as a professional, do professional things. If you want to be seen as a mediocre, then you do mediocre things. Exactly. As you post, now so you go show. I like that. All right. Thank you, Idris. Okay, Idris, are you there? You want to add something? Olayemi, do you have a question? Do you want to make a comment before we close? We have this is to 9, so we can all go prepare for tomorrow. All right, Idris, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for of course providing this learning platform, and of course I think a very, very big thank you to Esther. You've shared so much tonight. You've of course touched on some very, very, very key salient points. There's nothing so much that you can really add to what you've shared already so far. Maybe just a little thought from my own hand, and of course looking at it from a slightly different perspective. So I know, for a fact, and of course, maybe based on also my experience, in my earlier days in my career, and it was very key why I asked, that question the other time. And what I think is that young professionals, especially those that are just coming up, really need to give themselves some credit. And when I say credit, there are times that, you have some stuff, but there's some level of doubt. And even to the best of us too, it creeps in once in a while when you keep asking yourself, am I sure I want to put myself out there? Am I sure I'm good enough? Am I sure it's the right time to start showing, the kind of stuff that I'm made of? I think the truth is, be sure. So the first thing is, in terms of the quadrant of knowledge, the level of unconscious competence. But before you get there, number one, know what you know. When you know what you know your limits, you get. And at that point, I think you should be able to start networking and leveraging yourself and putting yourself out there. From the beginning of your career, from day one,
you need to start branding yourself. Branding, from my earlier question, there's a difference between projecting your brand and building your brand. From the day one of your career, but I won't even say the one of your career, your personal brand should even transcend your career. It should be who you are, right? The way you do your thing, the kind of diligence, what people, when they mention your name, what it resonates, what the kind of perception that immediately, or the kind of picture that immediately comes to mind, right? That is, once they hear, Idris, they know this is the guy that, he never, gives up on any task. He always finds a way around difficulties. He's always very creative and ensures that, he delivers results. So it's not so much of even whether it's a skill or, what have you, but what you are known for. So the moment you start building your brand, and you do that from day one, but at some point you need to start now projecting your brand, putting yourself out there. And in a way, it's also an opportunity to keep expanding yourself. I will tell you one thing for a fact. When you put yourself out there, by projecting your brand, automatically you are exposing yourself to more learning opportunities. I can imagine for this, exposure that Esther just gave us now, she would have had to also go back, ensure that she reached through all the depth of the content that she needs to share, put things together. Automatically, it's an opportunity to also increase even your own wealth of knowledge, your own pool of knowledge. Just as we are listening, we are learning. Even the facilitator is also doing what? He's also learning in the process. There's a saying that what you tell me, I may remember, but what I say and what I do, definitely I won't forget, right? So these are some of the opportunities, and I think that's one important skill that as young professionals, we need to also make conscious efforts to leverage. As you are building your brand, at some point, make that conscious effort. Don't give yourself that limit that until I'm a YF or until I'm an SDV before I can start, speaking up, or before I can start putting myself out there. No, make conscious effort as far as you know what you know and you know your limit. Start putting yourself out there. Start understanding your limitations. Then start pushing the boundary. Start pushing the barrier. I think that's just one little addition I wanted to add, to the content so far. Thanks so much. I've learned a lot tonight.
Wow, Idris, you call this little addition. I like the perspective from which you have contributed, and thanks a lot for this. This is not little, this is big, and we appreciate you for that. What did I pick from this? You said, know what you know your limits. Start building your brand from the early days of your career, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. As long as you know what you know and you know your limits. This is powerful. Thanks a lot, Idris. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the close of today. And once again, Esther, can we just give Esther an electronic clap in the chat box? Because it is not easy for someone to share their 2 hours of their time, in the weekend with other professionals. And I know the kind of work she may have put, the kind of work she's put into this presentation, preparation, and all of that. So Esther, we love you. We want to say thank you so much for creating time to come and share with us, on personal branding for career advancement. Thank you so much. And we hope that when we call you the next time, you will surely oblige and share with us again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for turning up, for joining. I want to believe that you have learned 1 or 2 things, and look forward for more of these free webinars from HPAN Performance Africa. My name is DAMILARE-VICTOR, founder of HPAN Performance Africa. And then you will hear from us again for the next webinar, especially because every one of us here, we are on the platform. Unfortunately, today, we didn't have so much people, but we hope that next webinar will turn out to be more encouraging. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your evening, and bye for now. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Esther. Sarah, thank you. Olayemi, Promise, Idris, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
All right, bye for
Thank
now.
you, Sarah. Thank you, Idris. Layemi. Thank you.